Hello and welcome to another video from the only channel that you need to not only survive the current apocalypse but actually enjoy it. And today's video is going to be how to make a planting stick. This is my own personal invention, although it's such a simple idea, probably 1,000 other people do the same thing. They may even sell something in the store like this. But anyways, we're going to have to start out by getting ourselves a piece of wood for our planting stick. And right here, we've got the perfect piece of wood. It's easy to carve. It's like a very aggressive plant. It would be a noxious invasive species were it not for the fact that it was here before Columbus got here, making it simply a noxious species. It's not invasive. It was here first. But anyways, let's see. The first thing I have to do is figure out where we want the size of our base. And I think maybe about 3/4 of an inch, but that's just a guess. And you may come up with a better figure. Looks to me like right about here. Although I'm going to go ahead and cut the whole thing, just so I can have something to work with. And we'll drag this over to my forest workbench where I butcher animals and shuck oysters and stuff. I think I'll just cut this off rather than wrestle with it. All right, let's go get started. Right here I got my regular growing stick that I've been using for a couple of years. I like it so much that I brought it out here so I could compare it to the one I'm making, because I want to make it basically the same size. And it seems to me that by the time I skin this thing, right about there is a good place to cut. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Probably you already know that how to make a sharp stick, but I'm going to go through the whole process with you. Oh. And that way I can have an excuse for making one of these TV shows that I'm so well known for. All right, now we're done with our loppers. I ain't got no use for dirt right now. And I got this is my favorite knife for doing any cutting, and I think it maybe, I ordered three different kinds of knives from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and basically what I did is clicked the button that said price lowest to highest, and I picked the 3 lowest priced knives that seemed like they were at least partway decent. And we're just going to make it pointed, but not sharp. In fact, you want this thing, when you get done, to be a little bit skinnier than a pencil. A little bit skinnier than a pencil. I was going to say pencil eraser, but because it seems like that ends up being something I say all the time about size. You know, first thing you're really supposed to do is just skin the whole thing, which only takes a second. I don't know why I started sharpening it first. And you want to do this on something that's green. You can do it on something dry, but it's just hard to do. Dry wood's hard to cut. And doing it on a piece of green wood to help the green wood to dry out, because you want your stick to be dry, but you just don't want to work on it while it is dry. This has really got some slippery, sticky, slimy sap. Now, I have always planted seeds just with my fingers. I tell you what, this makes it a whole lot easier. And the reason you don't want to have this thing sharp on the end, well, we'll show you. But when you're planting seeds, some seeds are pretty big, like what we're going to be planting today is okra, but like a watermelon seed. And rather than dig a hole and then put the seed in the hole and then cover the hole, you can actually just drop your seed right on top of the dirt and push it in with this stick. Well, if it's sharp, it'd probably be kind of hard to do. Just sitting here thinking about cutting my finger intentionally so this video go viral, but I'm too scared of blood. That's why I was real quiet for a while. I was contemplating whether it would be worth it to cut myself. If you don't think you can do this on your own, I'd be willing to make one for you for just 17 tri-weekly payments of $11.42. I didn't want to be like one of them crooks on TV that charge you to 3 monthly payments of $9.99. That's why I made the figures different. And it's a little too fat. Just get a few more cuts on it. Actually, I'll show you mine. This is my old one. If you can see that. See, it's not pointed on the end. It's actually flattened out some. We'll show you in a minute. There we go, that's about right. There's a manual planting machine, multi-function manual planting machine. All right, now we're going to go ahead and show you why this is such a good thing to have. Here is the Gladware thingamajig that I put my seeds in, store my seeds in. Oh, by the way, if anybody out there knows what the heck this is, please let me know. It was about, I don't know, it's about that long. If you can see a foot, it's over a foot, maybe 18 inches long. And inside of it are these really peculiar little things. And in between each one, their taste really good. I don't know what this is. If it's poisonous, tell me so I don't eat no more of them. Tastes like prunes. But anyway, here's the seed that's in them. And the lady that gave me this thing said that doesn't make fruit. You can't eat that, which isn't true because these things are edible. But she says pretty flower. And I haven't figured out how to grow it. Maybe I need to find out what it is so I can read how to grow it. Because I've planted quite a few of these seeds. Anyways, this is how I keep my seeds. And once I open up a pack, like these here are sticky, so you open them, when you get done, they'll stick back together a little bit. But some of them just fall all over the place. I'll just stick those in these little Ziplocs. But anyway, for right now, I guess we'll go ahead and plant some squash. My wife wanted some of this stuff, and this is one of them ones that's an heirloom and it's supposed to grow on its own, and maybe it'll turn into a permaculture crop, although I doubt it. We'll go ahead and do it in this big cup. Okay, when I do my planting, I always got my dirt really loose, right? We'll put 2 seeds in here just to do it. And usually a lot of people, the way they'll plant a seed is they'll make a hole, right? And then you just drop seed in the hole, and then you got the other end, you can cover that up. With the stick, you can actually just put your seed down there, push it into the ground, or into your dirt. And then same thing. Now here's the part that's important. This is really the whole point of the video. Is when you do this, you really need to pack this dirt down. I know a lot of people, when they plant their plants, they want them loose, but this is going to be transplanted into the ground. And what happens when your soil is loose, it stays loose. And when you go to pull your plants out, well, the soil just falls all off the roots. And so your plants aren't as viable like that as they are if you can just grab the plant and pull it up with the dirt packed around it and then transplant all that dirt into the soil. Your plants have a really good possibility of growing. But when you put them in loose soil, there's no way to get the soil out with the roots, and so you need your planting stick. So that's the whole point of this video, is that you got to tamp down your soil if you're going to be transplanting. Now, if you're putting your seeds directly into the ground, that's not the truth. You just need to get them on the ground where they're damp, and then put some dirt on top of them so the top is damp. If you were expecting a typical sustenance and covering groundbreaking video, then there's two different ways you can look at this. If you already own a sharp stick, you're probably saying, that's the stupidest video I've ever seen in my life. But if you haven't ever seen somebody plant seeds with a sharp stick, then you may be contemplating contacting the Department of Agriculture so that they can relay this information to the President of America. In either case, if you don't want to survive, don't listen to me.